Right, one more time. Content warnings are coronavirus, tentacles, gore, and death. To be honest, if you don't want to hear about coronavirus, there's not much you can do. That's going to be a topic anywhere currently. But tentacles, gore, and death, you probably could avoid if you weren't here. So if you don't want to hear about them, maybe it's time for you to dip out for like 10 minutes. Right, Tom and Andrew, take it away when you're ready.
I will take the first paragraph and then we'll swap them, Andrew. Let's try and nail it this time.
All right, rip off the Band-Aid, Tom, come on.
It's a dreary late evening. The streets of London are littered with naught but parked cars and the occasional street lamp casting a shade of amber and sometimes bright white light. Tom and Andrew are both situated in their homes, not knowing what to do with their free time. Then, out of possible boredom, Andrew gets a call from Tom, asking him if he wants to check out a back alley club he managed to find last week while he was breezing through his neighbourhood. Andrew, while initially hesitant about the proposal, eventually agreed after numerous attempts to turn the idea down. It's very accurate so far. Slightly later, the two meet up just outside Tom's house, ready to explore the freshly discovered cubbyhole. That better not be an anus euphemism. Andrew.
I hope it's an anus euphemism. It could be much worse.
At first, they couldn't spot it, but after a little search, they ended up unveiling a secret entrance, which initially sounded great. But as it turned out later, it was nothing more than an elaborate trap. While creeping from one side of the barely lit corridor to the other, they fall down a trapdoor. It's gone on Looney Tunes already. I like it. Which sends them straight into a dark room. Thankfully, they landed on what felt like a soft mattress. A few seconds later, a couple of stadium-sized lamps light up their surroundings. They're at a WrestleMania-esque arena.
Nice.
The speakers are blaring with sound of anarchy in the UK. And as they slowly regain awareness of where they were supposed to be, a ginormous, gooey, and slightly morbid tentacle monster arises from a shadowy nook and is headed towards the duo.
I wonder where this is going. Without any idea on how to proceed, they tried to run away from the rancid beast. It was a fruitless attempt because the goo-filled mutant swiftly grabbed their bodies with no chance of escape. The next thing you know, the giant monstrosity rips their clothes and underwear off and slowly, but forcefully, shoves its manly, girthy, and greasy tentacles into their anal cavities. On top of confusion and angst, they both feel pain and agony from having the miscreation's limbs jabbed into their asses.
The torture only gets worse from here. They sense a ramp up in the penetration speed, as well as the concern that the jabs will inevitably cause their stomachs to rupture.
Oh, God.
We've all been there.
Nevertheless, the stabbing continues, becoming ever faster and harder with every stroke.
Halfway into the creature's horrifically grotesque procreation process, Tom's abdomen bursts open. Oh, yeah, no, there should have been a comma there. Tom's abdomen bursts open and his guts promptly fall in front of the monster. It is delighted to see some fresh human meat. Therefore, the swift fornication temporarily ceased while the foul beast began eating the aforementioned intestines.
Tom was so exhausted and in such great pain that he was barely able to communicate with Andrew how horrible this thought was. With all his strength, he uttered, "This is you speaking. You speak when it's you."
Oh, okay. I regret luring you in here.
Yeah. before limping and gradually succumbing to rest, Andrew responded, "Hey, what's wrong with you? You're looking kind of down to me." It doesn't say that. It doesn't say. It says, "Hey, at least we'll go out in spectacular fashion, and the papa will be mystified." Sorry, and the popo will be mystified about our disappearance.
With Tom nodding in response to that statement. After the creature finished devouring Tom's remains, I'm dead. Oh. After the creature finished devouring Tom's remains, the thrusting resumed at an even greater rate than before. This went on for a blisteringly slow few minutes, with the song looping for a second time. At the end, when the monstrosity was about to unleash all manner of smelly and sticky fluids, Andrew's body also gave up, but this time, only his legs forced their way onto the ground. This didn't bother the horny behemoth. That's what I call my penis. This didn't bother the horny behemoth, as it initiated a spillage of massive amounts of white and sticky, almost sperm-like goo into their butts and up Tom's ribcage. This went on for almost half a minute.
Ooh.
Post-climax, the slimy being left for its nook, grabbing Andrew's leftover legs as a snack for another time. They were both lying on the ground in a puddle of huge amounts of what could only be described as mishmash of their own blood and tentacle monsters cum.
Oh my.
A couple of minutes later, the music stopped and it revealed that whatever mess their ruptured organs brought into the arena had been cleared off the ground, with only the cum-like substance covering them entirely.
Suddenly, a voice from above. The voice sounds like Luigi, and it was telling them, "Don't know how to do a Luigi impression." The voice sounds like Luigi, and it's telling them, "Oh, me curious children." This is the punishment for breaking quarantine and leaving for uncharted waters.
Why is he northern? Why is Luigi from Manchester?
Why, it's me, Luigi.
Alright, Arkid.
Alright, Arkid. Is Luigi like the son of Wario? And I'm getting sidetracked. Then, two slightly slim arms reach from above. They grab both and are dragged back into the slightly mossy corridor they just came from. It turns out that the voice really is Waluigi. Waluigi. I can't say it. It explains how he used his magic powers to reverse the damage done by whatever the thing was, and the way he extended his arms to lift them from another round of oppression.
He advised them to go back home and sit on their ass until the quarantine is lifted. Otherwise, the goo monster will strike again. Otherwise,
Will you be my quarantine?
Otherwise, the goo monster will strike again.
Long story short, don't dick around with unknown places, or you might be in for an unpleasant experience for your buttocks and dignity.
So it's like a cautionary tale, guys. I like
Yeah,
it.
don't
There's nothing
Sort of
break
moral to the
quarantine,
story.
or you'll get bummed to death.